Periscope and Facebook and DLive. And come on, YouTube. Come on, come on, come on. Can you do it? Let's see if YouTube does it. Yes. What's up, everybody? I am James Hake. It's Thursday, August 27th already, 2020. And it is 9:03 a.m. U.S. Pacific Daylight Time. I will be getting to your calls, 888-775-3773. I want to talk about Kyle Rittenhouse just a little bit. I don't have any footage, but I just want to talk about the situation. And, of course, Jacob Blake, the guy that got shot, shot in the back, right? They were saying that he was unarmed. Fake news. He was armed. He had a knife. And more. You know, Tucker's under attack for telling the truth, basically. What a mess. But you guys can call in. Once again, the number is 888-775-3773. With that, let's get on with the show.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, isn't it interesting that once again, CNN is fake news? Let's get right into this, and then I will get to your calls, guys. But CNN quotes and does not correct the ACLU and BBC, too. BBC is a British whatever. It's British state government news, right? Something like that, right? Isn't it public? Also credulously claimed that this Jacob Blake, black guy who got shot in Kenosha, also known as Kosovo, Wisconsin, in the back, not 7 times, but the officer fired 7 times. AP is fake news. AP claimed that it was shot 7 times. He was shot 4 times, according to the lawyer, who's a scummy, sleazy lawyer, too. Lying, evil person, nasty. Benjamin Crump, disgusting guy. He was involved in Trayvon Martin, Michael Brown, Breonna Taylor, I think, and so many others. Just pushing lies and mess and nonsense. And exploiting the, ignorance? Anger? Jumping to conclusions of black people against whites and cops? Disgusting. Anyways, CNN and BBC and ACLU, the ACLU, Anti-American Civil Liberties Union, such a misnomer, the American Civil Liberties Union, they are anti-American. They are communists. They're evil. And CNN and BBC still have this information on their websites that this Jacob Blake guy, the black criminal suspect from the Sunday shooting in Kenosha, which sparked a bunch of riots in Kenosha, and NBA players are trying to boycott. And according to one caller, Doc Rivers cried. Doc Rivers being a longtime basketball coach or volleyball coach. But I have a few headlines that you saw from Joel Friday here. CNN reports, video shows police shoot unarmed black man. I don't know where they get the notion that right there in the headline and in the description, 29-year-old black man. They put the capital B, black, because that is kissing up to black people, I guess. They've started doing that recently. Is fighting for his life, and 2 police officers are on administrative leave after a video in Kenosha, Wisconsin showed officers shoot unarmed Jacob Blake multiple times. Yeah, right. How do they know? They don't know. They just jump to conclusions. CNN's Polo Sandoval reports. Another one. Man recorded Man who recorded Jacob Blake's shooting says he's traumatized and cannot sleep. And it shares that same video that's titled, "Video shows police shoot unarmed black man." And to this day, it's saying that. To this day. BBC, which is the British outlet that has no business talking about America, they got their own problems. BBC pushes evil themselves. BBC credulously claims he was unarmed. This is the headline from BBC. Kenosha shooting. Protests erupt after U.S. police shoot black man. Video. And it says video under this BBC article. U.S. police shooting of unarmed Jacob Blake sparks protests in Wisconsin. Down at the bottom, I have highlighted unarmed Jacob Blake, which is a lie. A total lie. These people just rush to pretend that, oh, the poor black man. Anyways, here's a quote from the body of that article. Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers condemned the shooting of Mr. Blake, who was reportedly unarmed. I don't know who they normally you have to cite who is reportedly unarmed. Cite your sources, BBC. Who told you that? I think they just reported it themselves. Who did they cite? CNN? And I have Tony Evers' quote just to remind you how disgusting he is. He's the Democrat governor who, according to President Trump, agreed to bring in the National Guard at least. But Evers says, while we do not have all the details yet, what we know for certain is that he is not the first black man or person to have been shot or injured or mercilessly killed at the hands of individuals in law enforcement in our state or our country, he said in a statement. He tweeted this out. I have said all along that although we must offer our empathy, which is a liberal word because they don't have love, equally important is our action. In the coming days, we will demand that just that of elected officials in our state who have failed to recognize the racism in our state and our country for far too long. And just because it was a cop who shot a black dude, he brings up racism. No evidence, just say it. Just accuse, because blacks are disproportionately criminal. They're getting themselves disproportionately in trouble, killed, in jail, whatever, arrested, resisting arrest. And therefore it's racism because it's disproportionate. And then CNN quotes and does not correct the ACLU. Here's CNN quoting Jeffrey Robinson. I haven't looked up this guy. I don't know whether he's white or black or what. A deputy legal director for American Civil Liberties Union said Blake's death, along with George Floyd's outside of Minneapolis grocery store, and Breonna Taylor's in her own home. I don't know if it was her home or the boyfriend's home. Was she in her boyfriend's house or her house? Huh. Interesting. All this time I had been saying that it was the boyfriend's house, but maybe it was her house and the boyfriend was there? Anyways, and Eric Garner's in front of the New York bodega demonstrates the very institution of American policing is rotten at its core. What a lying sleaze. Of Blake's shooting, this Jeffrey Robinson guy said. I have this quote in the screenshots there, I think. He said, with each of the 7 shots fired, the police department made their intent clear. They believed that they had the right to kill an unarmed black man, and they capitalized the word black again, for the crime of walking away from them. Oh, okay, maybe I didn't have it. But that's what he said. What a sick person. Just nasty. People like this shouldn't be allowed to be in the country, should they? ACLU. Let me take a peek at what this guy is. Jeffrey Robinson, ACLU. He's black. Looks like it anyways. Crazy people. Yeah, light-skinned. Old enough to know better. With a sleazy smile, disgusting guy. Joel, if you could Google that for me. We'll show it later. But that's disgusting. Or you can show it whenever you come across it. sick people. Just the nastiest people on earth. ACLU, American Civil Liberties Union. He looks relatively healthy there, believe it or not, compared to other pictures. Yeah, that's Jeffrey Robinson. Black dude, he looks like he's in his aged 40s or 50s or 60s or 70s. Not 70s, but I don't know. Issues, he got issues. Just a wild guy. Hating America, hating cops, smearing police. And it's acceptable to talk this way, as he did, and put out disgusting statements like that. And he said unarmed. But he was not unarmed. He had a knife. And from the very beginning, this guy, right after police interviewed, I think police somehow were able to interview this guy whom they shot. And he said in interviews that he did have a knife. So it was said that he had a knife. And a witness who took cell phone video of the incident, he said that cops said, drop the knife, drop the knife. So from the very beginning, words of knife had been out there. He's anywhere from 40 to 79, says TR. What's up, man? Thank you for joining on YouTube. Right on. But I guess the lie is very prominent, right? I have some information on Kyle Rittenhouse that I'm going to get to. Let me tell you a little bit more. They have the DOJ, not the Federal Department of Justice, but the State Department of Justice on the case. And there was another fake news headline. I don't think I have this one, but I don't think I have the screenshot for you guys. But the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, I told you guys this during Hake News at the end of hour 1 today on the Jesse Lee Peterson show, that the headline claimed he had a knife, but was otherwise unarmed. He had a knife. Well, they said he had a knife in the car, right? But was otherwise unarmed. But that is potentially misleading, because did he have a knife in his hand, or did he have a knife in the car and he was getting the knife, or was he carrying the knife the whole time and then he dropped it in the car once he got shot, right? It's a good question, because why would the cops be saying, drop the knife, drop the knife? And you know what's funny? I'm tempted to call this 22-year-old guy who took cell phone video of it. His name was Deshaun or something like that. The guy who couldn't sleep at night after witnessing the shooting. He'd seen this guy, Jacob Blake's kids, playing outside and stuff like that. Well, this guy claimed, I didn't see a knife, and he wasn't being violent. But other video footage shows that this guy was fighting with the cops. He was being violent. And why would the cops be saying, drop the knife, if he didn't have a knife in his hand? You know what I mean? At what point did they say, drop the knife? Was it when he was reaching into the car? Or was it when he was still walking around with the car? Because some people showed a screenshot that made it look like he had a knife. So who knows? Who knows? And the screenshot that made him look like he had a knife was well before he got to the driver's side door again. So who knows? But they said he had a knife in the car but was otherwise unarmed. And a whole bunch of people on Twitter, Ben Shapiro even said, had a knife but was otherwise unarmed. And violent riots were mostly peaceful. These people are lying to you. He said the mainstream media, but this Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel said that the DOJ said that. So who said otherwise? Who said otherwise unarmed? The DOJ certainly could. If they have a Democrat disgusting governor who said what I just quoted, Tony Evers, then certainly there are liberals in their DOJ who are gonna slant what's really going on. You know what I mean? The writer Sophie Carson, whose headline that was. I don't know if she wrote the headline or if her editor wrote the headline, right? Because usually The reporter doesn't write the headline. It's an editor for these websites and these outlets. But she said no ill will was meant. Yeah, right. Communists, the people who are just subverting America, they mean well. It's kind of like saying such and such person is nice, but they're really perpetrating all kinds of evil. They mean well. No ill will was meant. But regardless, it was a lie. It's kind of like what is that called? A oxymoron. When you say he was an unarmed knife-wielding attacker. A knife-wielding attacker was otherwise unarmed. And by the way, speaking of the fake news, Associated Press, which hates Trump, hates America, hates whites, hates Christians, hates Mother Nature, refers to people who are transgender as the fake gender instead of the real one, refers to illegals as undocumented. They're well documented, fraudulently documented. They're illegals. They're illegal aliens. But the AP, they said that they described this 17-year-old young man, who was at the subsequent riots after this Jacob Blake incident. They described the scene as an attack, referring to Jacob Blake. Not Jacob Blake, referring to Kyle Rittenhouse, the 17-year-old white guy who, according to everything that I've heard, was in self-defense. So how can you call that an attack when it's in self-defense? Has anybody said that it wasn't self-defense? I've heard people criticize him for being on the scene and having a gun because in their minds, that starts a bad situation, right? It's not normal to be walking around with an AR-15. It's also not normal for people to be tearing apart and burning down the city. Well, I guess now it is normal. It's sick people. And looting and just destroying businesses. Even businesses that have Black Lives Matter on their marquee, on their, it's crazy. One of the car dealerships in Kenosha, on the first night of the rioting, it got burned up, and it said Black Lives Matter on their sign, their business sign, burned up. Cars set on fire. Disgusting. So AP, they don't tell you the truth. They do have a little bit of facts, but they always slant it, and they lie. Okay, so anyways, let me read a few super chats and then get to calls. And keep going. Evgeny Crosby gave a diamond and said Jacob Blake has $1.7 million so far on GoFundMe. And you know what? You know what's funny is these establishment websites, right? Like GoFundMe, Kickstarter, and stuff like that. They won't let conservatives raise much money on if a topic is too controversial. They won't let the conservatives do it. You have to have a whole different underground homemade website for conservatives. GoFundMe allows extremists to fund and to fundraise. Disgusting, says Evgeny Crosby. It's true. They are, these most corporations, as Vincent James aptly pointed out, are anti-American. They hate truth. They hate peace. They hate real Americans. They hate freedom of speech. And they hate conservatives, which are, to clarify, conservatives are pretty much centrists. Centered on reality, the Constitution, freedom, morality. That's centrist. The mainstream has gone way far left. Philosopher with a diamond. Thank you, man. Appreciate the subscriptions. That's cool. Congrats to Garand Bear. Very nice name. Garand Bear, who carries an M1 Garand. Named after John Garand. I just learned that that's how the M1 Garand is pronounced. I always thought it was M1 Garand. But I looked it up, and it's supposed to be guaranteed. It's still debated to this day. Let me just double check the Streamlabs. King Alpha Nerd, faithfully supporting, says, James, I'm going to need you to tell Jesse to chill. Every time he calls a black woman the B word, it's out of nowhere, and I'm spitting my coffee out. And it was 3 times. Oh, he's ready for Get It Off Your Chest Friday. Thank you, King Alpha Nerd. It's good to hear from you. Appreciate the support. And I will pass that along to Jesse Lee Peterson. Don't make King Alpha Nerd spit out his coffee. Chill. Oh, man. I don't say it because I didn't grow up saying it. I mean, I don't say that I don't say it, but I don't say it on air. I want to set like a, whatever. GACR 53, GACR 53 says, what? Day BLV, everything USA, they believe everything USA was founded on is racist. They believe everything USA was founded on is racist, is what he says. Referring to, the so-called mainstream. And some of them, I think that they don't even believe it. They just repeat it to be politically expedient, to disrupt and overturn things. And as Mike Pence pointed out at the RNC Night 3 last night, I didn't watch any of it, that if you don't want a president who will defend our heritage and stuff like that, then this is not your man. Meaning that if you want a president who's going to stand up and defend our heritage, meaning like not be supporting tearing down the monuments and smearing the founding fathers. Oh, slavery, please. Spare me your phony moral posturing, right? These people who support baby killing and support presidents who expanded same-sex marriage and put transgenders in the military and repealed Don't Ask, Don't Tell. I'm talking about Obama, in case you're not aware. Spare me the phony moral posturing. And he's supporting all kinds of killing and death and destruction and moral destruction and subversion. Spare me the moral posturing about slavery and Jim Crow. Get over it. Asmodor gave a diamond and said, fighting Indians was awesome, not racist. It's in the Declaration of Independence that the King of England was exploiting the tensions, and the King of England used, I think he referred to them as, he being Thomas Jefferson and the people who signed the Declaration of Independence. I think, didn't Thomas Jefferson write it? Whatever. That the savage Indians would not have any concern for the sick or elderly or women or children. They use different language, but they were savages, but they want to cast the whites back then as the savages and the Indians as peaceful, innocent people, and their land was just stolen from them. When generally the civilization brought civilization in a civilized manner for the most part, right? I'm sure there were exceptions to the rule. Very fine people on both sides, right? And violence on many sides. That's history for you. That's reality for you. Disgusting people. And now they're taking over America in like a female-minded way. It's so gross. By female-minded, I mean, this false guilt that's being pushed and just pushing diversity is good. Diversity is great. And not allowing Christianity, real Christianity, or manhood, real manhood in America anymore. What a mess. Let me get to a couple of callers real fast. And then I will get back to this Rittenhouse guy. And Tucker is under attack, by the way. Tucker is a pretty solid guy in terms of putting the truth out there. You guys know that. And I'm happy that Trump is standing up. I really think he's fighting to win. By the way, make sure you're supporting Jesse Lee Peterson on your choice of any of the 3 major patron/subscriber platforms, whether your preferred choice is rockfin.com/Jesse Lee Peterson, subscribestar.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. Both of those are free speech friendly platforms, I would say. And then, of course, there is the establishment, patreon.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. Still a great site. They have been discriminating against conservatives, though. But so far, Jesse's been golden on there. So if you prefer to be there, that's fine. Appreciate it. Nice. And we have exclusive content. More on the way. Get pumped. Okay. Art from Columbus, Ohio. Art, how are you doing?
Man, what's up with you, Hake? And then what's up with what's up with the producers? And then what's up with the chat, man? Hi to everybody.
Hey.
And I told you, man, I said, man, don't put Columbus, Ohio on there, man. I ain't gonna be able to get no damn sleep tonight.
Oh.
Nancy Pelosi flying around here with these Gucci purses and Gucci dresses and these souped up broomsticks and stuff, and I can't get no sleep because I just keep seeing her flying past my window on her broomstick.
Yeah.
I got Susan Rice and Kim Fox and all the other witches of the Wicked West.
Wow, what a mess. You just named off a crazy
Yeah.
mess of women. Kim Fox.
Yeah, man. I can't get them away from my window, man. They flying around here. But long story short, man, what's up with you, man? Can you get your black people, man? I'm gonna trade them off to you, man. I don't even want to deal with them no more, man. This is embarrassing, man.
Yeah.
So say the cops had the gun on them. I thought when you pull a gun or put a gun on somebody,
You're supposed
that
to
means
freeze.
for you to. Yeah. I thought that means okay. Let's play red light, green light. So when I say red light, that means stop. When I say green light, go. So I thought when you put a gun on somebody, that means red light.
Right.
That don't mean green light.
Yep.
So I'm trying to still figure out what is the problem in the major malfunction with black people. They don't know when to stop and go.
Yeah. That's a great
You see
point,
what I'm
man.
saying?
There's just no fear. There's no fear or respect for the police, for authority. And this man had a father who liked him.
Yes,
Or
sir.
has
Yes,
a father
sir.
who likes him. He wants to drive up
Yes,
and touch him. Well, that father is
Yes,
acting
sir.
more like a mother, though, honestly.
Yes, sir. Exactly.
And he's going to
exactly.
speak at Al Sharpton's event tomorrow. The father of this Jacob Blake, his name is Jacob Blake as well, apparently.
Hold up. Look, hold up. But you didn't take that. Look at how he looked. When I seen him on there crying, I'm like, look how overweight he is. I ain't gonna say fat because I'm not being maliciously mean to him. But if you overweight and you don't know how to manage what you opening and putting in your mouth, then that's a freaking problem. So
Yeah.
that already let me know that you ain't spiritually right because you don't even take care of your weight and your just weight as Father God wants us to be, not being all over out of shape and stuff.
Good
what
point.
is wrong with him?
Yeah.
But check this out. You know what I'm starting to realize is everything is starting to have a backwards effect on everything that they're doing. They removed the dads out of the houses. Now you want the police to be on-scene daddies, and they ain't got time to do that. They're not about to sit there and chastise you grown liberal black females, kids, and try to be hands-on and be friendly with them. That was your job to do. Teach them manners in the house, teach them respect, and teach them discipline, and teach them honor. You didn't do it. Now they grown. Now they fall into the kids. Don't be trying to sue the police and get no free money when you know you didn't raise your kids or you done messed up. It don't work like that, man.
Yeah, I agree. Those black women, according to the witness, 6 or 7 of them were yelling when this guy drove up.
That's why
it makes me wonder, honestly. It makes me wonder if this is a case in part, right? The guy was wrong to be acting erratic with the cops, but it makes me wonder, like, where is, I think that there is a police bias and a societal bias against men.
Yes, it is.
When in fact,
Yes, it
probably some of those females maybe should have been arrested, or one of them, rather than this man, this black guy.
Are you not noticing something that I'm seeing taking form? It's called observation. Every time these black dudes is getting shot or somewhere, always before the dudes get shot, you hear a whole bunch of these black hood rats. No,
I know.
No. Like, man, be up. I almost said the B-I-T-C-H word. Like, B, shut up, man. Dang, you getting people shot.
Right. That just adds to the chaos. If you want calm, if you want the situation to calm down, you be calm.
You be calm, man. You putting off evil energy or whatnot, and that's just going on to the cops. Now, I ain't saying all cops is perfect and all these cops are good or whatnot, but when you got ignorant people out there who's egging it on and putting out the negative, you ain't doing nothing but adding on to the energy of the bad cops that's already out there.
Right.
And
it's totally true.
Oh, man. Oh, so check this out, Hake. I got to get on your dude. Yesterday, it was almost at the end of the show. It's like 4 or 5 minutes before y'all got the show. He was talking about you gonna pay. You remember how he was talking to you? Like,
are you talking about Joe from Phoenix?
It was that Joe from Phoenix? He's from Phoenix?
Yeah, from Phoenix, Arizona. Because he was talking about, the world is becoming closer to God, and you and Jesse Lee Peterson are getting pushed off to the side. Your world no longer applies. He thinks it's a good thing. He thinks the crackdown on the truth and freedom of speech and the Second Amendment and men, he thinks that's a good thing. That's what
he was saying. He thinks that's a good thing. I heard him yesterday. And my thing is this, buddy, I don't think like you, and I don't hope you think that I'm rolling over and giving up no freedom of speech. I'm not going to stop telling the truth, and I love America. And if you think I'm going to sit back and hand America over to some fat, greasy, chicken wing infested fingers like yours, your little beta fingers like yours, then you got another thing coming, buddy.
Are you addressing Joe right now?
Yeah, I'm addressing Joe.
I don't think Joe's fat. I don't think he's fat.
Yeah, he sound like he's fat. And if he don't, he sound like a pencil neck Adam Schiff looking type of dude to me.
Dang.
Talking some crazy stuff like that. Talking about and the thing is, he really wasn't threatening you. He was being he was being passive threatening. And you see what I'm saying? Like, he went. My thing is this: but before any patriots or anybody like me roll over and get this country up to some socialist communists who want to really destroy America and set us 100 years back, man, we will be out here in the Civil War, buddy. And I ain't just like I told, I think a while ago, I'm 33, man. I just started fighting, man. I've been fighting since I was 12, 18 years old, man, in these Democratic public schools, man. So, and then when I go to...
We need wise people. We need a wise way to fight. We need to be it should never have come to this. It's kind of like this situation with this 17-year-old guy who, according to what it appears to be, he had to shoot 3 people in self-defense, killed 2 of them. One is maybe going to be okay, I guess. But it should never have come to that. We shouldn't have allowed ourselves to elect a disgusting governor and mayor who won't enforce order. And why are there so many people willing to commit this destruction and violence and rioting and protesting over a fake idea of racism? It's completely
I think I got an answer for you, though. I think I got an answer, and this is how the type of guy in my life to put the blame where it's supposed to be at or whatnot. And I can't say I participated in it for the simple fact that I sat back as a conservative and then held my tongue and didn't say nothing, and then it ended up getting to a point like this.
Yeah.
Then you got liberals like Joe who seem to don't think their stuff don't stink, and that they can enforce their will on others. Then that's when you put us in a position to where you don't got no choice but to get physical. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And to
Art, in fairness to Joe, because you addressed him, he's on the line and would like to talk with you. So
okay, go ahead.
I would like to bring Joe from Phoenix, Arizona on to talk with you. Joe, thank you for holding. Thanks for calling. What do you have to say?
Yeah. Well, first of all, this guy calling in is a complete and total idiot. Articulate, unintelligent. You have no idea what you're talking about. I have a 20-plus year track record of working with GOP PACs, idiot. So get your facts straight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
So you said you wanted to take the guns away. What else was you saying? What was some of the stuff you were saying yesterday that's totally against America?
Guns away, you idiot. So stop lying.
what was some of the things you were saying yesterday that's against American and the amendments and the beliefs of America? I'm listening.
You got being against the police either. You see, you just make yourself up because you're a liar and you're evil.
You know,
Okay.
maybe he just got the wrong impression, Joe.
No,
Okay,
he's just
so what
lying to try to defame me.
So you said whatever you were saying yesterday, whatnot. So go ahead and repeat it, and then maybe if I'm wrong, then I can apologize and fix what I said that was wrong.
I have
what I'm
no
saying?
idea what you're talking about. I didn't even mention the police. I didn't mention anything about guns. So what the hell are you talking about?
He did say, or what I recall yesterday was that
Go ahead.
he's happy that Jesse Lee and I are, according to him, getting pushed off to the side. The world is becoming more godly.
Because you lie daily about black people, and you have false stats, and you push false narratives.
Yeah, so
Okay,
he thinks that he's accusing Jesse and me of hating black people, and so
Okay, but
he's
check
happy
this out.
that we're
Okay,
getting
okay.
deplatformed by
I
sleazy
got
outlets
you,
like
I got
YouTube.
you.
Yeah.
So you rolling with the communists? My point exactly.
Absolutely not.
That's
No,
against.
no,
Hold up, no.
no.
Let me talk. You
Being
talk.
against
You got to
Jesse
talk.
and David,
No, you got to
Hey,
talk. Now you
hey,
got to
Joe.
let me
Yeah,
talk.
let him respond, Joe, and then
you talk.
I'll let you
I
respond.
didn't interrupt you when you were talking
Go
because
for-
I'm
go
an
for it,
alpha
Art,
man.
go for
I'll
it.
let you talk. All right, first of all, that's my point exactly. You roll with the socialist commune. You think it's cool for people not to be able to express their opinion. You think it's cool for them to be trying to deflect Hake and Jesse Peterson. So yes, you are against American and American belief. You a Chinese communist, and you living over here in America, sucking off the blood of Americans, man. Man, you
Okay.
know what? God bless you, and I love you, buddy. But you ain't right, man. You
So,
talking about this God stuff. You don't know
once again,
nothing about
you're
God.
completely lying
You
and
just
you're
met
completely
God.
way out
You
of
met
line.
God
You're
last week,
absolutely
buddy. You
ignorant
met
and
God
stupid.
last week, buddy. Stop it.
Okay, all right. Go for it,
Absolutely
Joe.
stupid and unintelligent. Absolutely 100%. You have no idea what you're talking about. Being against lies and stereotypes and denigration is not. No, shut up now. Just shut up now, you idiot. Being against lies and denigration and stereotypes is not being communist. It's being right and just.
What?
And he's
What do you
and he's
understand about
aligning,
that?
and he's thinking that YouTube is being right and just. YouTube and
that's
Twitter
right.
and all these
Like
people.
you- he
lie and
he
stereotype and
confused,
denigrate
man.
black people, James.
Yeah.
That's evil
Did you
and wrong.
take your medicine this morning, man?
Man,
you take your
you are
medicine?
just complete. You have zero intelligence. You realize that? What's your highest
You're
level
not even
of
listening to
education?
what you're saying.
But-
You against America. You
But
against
Joe,
America.
Joe.
Ain't that
I love
freedom of speech,
America.
Second
and
Amendment?
I served America. You haven't.
Ain't the Second Amendment freedom of speech, buddy? So if you don't think that
Not
already let
all
me know I don't need to be
speech is
talking to you in the
protected,
first
idiot.
place.
You clearly
I
don't
know you
about
voted. I know you voted for. I know
Not
you
all
voted for
speech
Joe
is
Biden
protected.
because you
Is it?
you
No,
sit
he
there and act
he
like
said
you
that
know
he's
what?
he said he's not voting for Joe Biden. He only voted for Obama twice.
But my thing is,
And he
this,
says
though,
he's a
you
Christian.
are-
By the way, he says he's a Christian.
He's been a Christian for a week, man.
No, he says he's been a Christian all his life. I think. Haven't you been a
Man,
Christian
he's
all
been
your
a
life, Joe?
I have been, yes.
Okay, yeah, okay. Well,
That's the black
All you want
Christians
to do
for
is-
you.
all you want to do is
And he's a
slander with
black
no
conservative.
intelligence. No,
Oh,
no
he's a-
facts,
oh,
no
he's
nothing.
a-
You
he's
make up lies.
a black rhino.
Yeah, I agree with you,
black
Art.
rhino.
Either.
Joe, man.
I have a track record. You don't. You have nothing but slurs and denigration. That
No,
is
but
it.
he's
You're an idiot.
basically
You're a
Joe.
total, complete, unintelligent idiot with
Oh.
zero comprehension, zero understanding. That's who you are.
Maybe he's
Deal with it.
hey Joe. Maybe he's a little bit simple in his mindset, but
Simple, stupid.
okay, fine. You can say he's stupid, but he's right that you're siding with communists.
100%
Socialists.
not. No.
Yeah, you are because
being against stereotypes
Are you
and denigrations and
are you
and
aware?
evil lies is being right.
Did you not see that YouTube and all these people were supporting Marxist, communist, Black Lives Matter this whole past few months, and the LGBTQIA
Conservatives
madness,
still on YouTube, yes.
and they're supporting the
Joey,
LGBTQIA madness, and he's
There are
Joey,
still plenty
baby.
of conservatives on YouTube. Larry Elder is still on YouTube, and he says a lot.
But
of
I'm
the same
talking
things
about
you
YouTube,
but
the
just-
company.
just in a
YouTube, the
different way.
company. YouTube, the company, and all these other platforms are taking away any free like independent-minded whites and Christians and conservatives who are
You
just
can try to
telling the
lie out of
unvarnished
I have
truth.
a 20-year track record of
Hey,
fighting for America.
Yeah, go for it.
There's
Art.
something about, there's something about Joe. He's like a real life rhino for the simple fact he tries to always flip the script and he tries to make it seem like everything's good right now and,
my God, you are
everything's godly
inarticulate.
when it's not.
Right.
When you got people trying to oppress and take rights away from American citizens.
Yeah.
Nah, man, we sniff you out, man. We sniff you out. We smell you from a mile away, buddy. And you smell like a pure communist, man. You need to pack it up and try again. Okay, whatever. You keep thinking that, buddy.
Appreciate.
We smell you out,
Oh
buddy.
yeah. By the way,
you can't answer the question, can you? Because you're an idiot.
What did you say?
Is Justice
What
still
did you say? What did
broadcasting?
you
Yes
say?
or no?
say that again.
What?
Is Justice still broadcasting? Yes or no?
Is he what?
Still broadcasting.
He's still broadcasting, you idiot.
Man, you got such a beta voice. I can't hear nothing you saying, man.
He said, "Is Jesse still
Justice
broadcasting?"
Still broadcasting, you idiot. Clear out your ears, you complete and total idiot. Is Justice still broadcasting?
He's sounding better. I like how you're improving, Joe, in your physical, but your mental and spiritual is still real evil.
You're the
Joe, you
evil
been
one.
doing
You need to
push-ups?
get right with God. You really do.
I know, but
Joe, you been doing
that just does not ring. It
Neither
doesn't
one of
have
you
any
are
inspiration
answering
coming from you, man.
Your whole Second Amendment argument is BS.
I didn't bring up the Second Amendment with that.
Put some bass in your voice, Joe. Put some bass in your voice, Joe.
I appreciate it, Art. Good to hear from you, man.
Idiot. Hey, little girl. Is Jesse still broadcasting? Yes or no?
Yeah, he's still broadcasting.
Exactly.
It ain't on
You can't
YouTube.
answer because you're an idiot.
It's on
My God,
D-Live.
Yeah.
It's on
you are so
D-Live.
incredibly
Yep.
stupid.
It ain't on YouTube, buddy.
Thank you,
They
Art.
moved
Appreciate
from
you, man.
one spot to another one.
So it's
Thank
still
you.
high speed.
Thank
Take
you
care.
too, man. God bless.
My God,
God bless
go
you,
learn
Joe.
something. Try and learn something in your life. Don't be a blithering idiot your whole life, please.
Okay, Joe, I have a text from Bible Go-To Guy.
Oh, my God, that idiot?
Well, I mean, listen to what he has to say, man. He said,
What?
what I wanted to say, because the Bible Go-To Guy was on the line late yesterday and I couldn't get to him. And so he said, what I wanted to say, James Hake, is that Joe showed his fill in the blank, right? He showed his true colors. He wanted to discuss
This
true...
is the same guy who continually lies about black people. And he's a complete and total racist idiot also.
Bible Go-To Guy? No.
Yes.
Okay, let
Absolutely.
me finish reading the text. He wanted to
Yeah, go
discuss
ahead.
he wanted to discuss truth versus facts, and yet he was happy about people he disagrees with getting banned from being able to say what they want to say. That is as un-American as an attitude as you can possibly
Once
possess.
again, is Jesse still on the air? Yes, he is. He's not banned from anything, is he?
Joe being glad that
Banned
other
from one
people
platform.
Hold on. Joe being glad that other people are being denied their freedom of speech is communist in nature. Go back to the Democrat Party. You are sticking things up here on the right. Right people believe in the freedom of speech. No one should be banned. So, what do you say to that?
I'm pretty sure he complained about Farrakhan and other folks who were anti-white, right? I believe you and Jesse are anti-black, so I am against you. Yeah.
Okay, whatever. Nobody's trying to get Farrakhan banned from us, except
my
from
God,
America.
some people are.
Maybe we should
Sure
get.
they are.
We should honestly
And I'm
get
pretty
some
sure
of these
Farrakhan's
communist
YouTube
people out
too,
of
right?
America.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Farrakhan is banned from YouTube too, right?
He might be. There's like
Exactly.
one or two black radicals who just to
So it's the same damn
pretend
thing,
to be
James.
fair.
Same damn thing.
No, it's not. Because Jesse
Sure
is
it is.
all love. Jesse Lee Peterson, he's all
Jesse
love.
hates black people with a white hot passion.
With a what? White hot passion?
Yeah.
You're the passionate one. Jesse's dispassionate. Anyways, man.
Jesse's just an idiot with no education and lies. He's not a pastor, and he's just evil, as are you.
All right. Well, thank you, Joe. Good to hear from you again.
Yep.
Thanks for
Yep, bye.
addressing Art. That was Art got your number though. GAC Junior 53. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing it, man. GACJR 53 says, "Wow, Joe is very condescending. Satan is his daddy." Sorry, Joe, I didn't see that. Otherwise, I would have read it and let you respond. By the way, Arizona Lineman says, "Hake, debate Hey, T, call in, boy, you woman. He's referring to T, I guess, from Alabama. No thanks, man. No thanks. That guy's every bit as malicious as you heard Joe get. GACJR53 says, wow, white libs always say black conservatives dumb. Oh, Joe actually has some black in him. I think he's either half black or something. He's black. I think he has admitted that he does have some white in him. I forget that people don't realize that he's black because he doesn't sound all that black. But I forget because I think of him as being black. Man. Okay. How about for a nice calm call, huh? And then I will get to this Rittenhouse. Chris in Illinois. Chris, how are you doing?
I'm good, James. Well, great, whatever, but...
Yeah, you're great. No man is good. Men can be great, but they can't be good.
Well, I'm doing great. How are you?
Fine, thank you. It's good to hear from you.
I appreciate it. I just wanted to call to kind of give some positivity, which I guess we'll need it after that last bout, but...
But wasn't it refreshing? Wasn't it refreshing? Because, Art said it. He said he's taking the side of the communists. That's basically all there is to say. And that was a positive thing. Jesse Lee Peterson tweeted yesterday, be happy when evil is revealed. And there are a whole lot of rhinos unmasking. It's not just Joe. It's like 100 alums from John McCain, Mitt Romney, and somebody else, right? Going for Biden. I think that's positive.
Yeah, that kind of ties in with kind of what I was calling about. I was calling about COVID-19 and some of the positive things it's done in my life.
Okay, nice.
And the first part is that I really got to see the true, I guess, Christians, the people that aren't running around scared, not wearing masks,
Okay.
Like I said at church before, it's funny how a mask shows you the true identity of somebody, and so that's been kind of refreshing because, I used to think there was a lot more Christians than I guess there really are. Because, if you're running around scared of an invisible monster, then you don't have faith in God.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's one thing. But another thing I really wanted to bring up, because I heard Jesse talk about it, and I've heard you talk about it a lot, but I sent my kid to a private school because I didn't want her to wear a mask all day.
Okay.
And she just comes home with just the brightest light now. I didn't realize that public school was killing her, at least her soul.
And you know what? I don't have a lot of faith in many of the private schools, so it sounds like if your impression is correct, then you found one of the few decent ones, because even the private schools are corrupted.
Yeah, well, it's really a homeschool,
okay,
a co-op done inside of a church, but They're following the Abeka curriculum, and she's just getting smarter, and she just is so happy to come home. And I don't know, I feel bad because I couldn't always afford it,
Right.
But I didn't realize what I was doing to my kid.
Yeah.
And I have another kid that's not in school yet, so I feel like because of COVID-19, I was forced to put myself into a situation I wasn't used to. And it's been nothing but blessings. Everybody's talking about how bad 2020 is, but, I'm not trying to brag, but my life just keeps getting better.
I was thinking the same thing because I see on Twitter people talking about, 2020 is awful. I'm like, no, it's not. I'm liking it. I don't, it's not exactly positive that these riots are happening, but it's revealing the evil. And, the COVID shutdowns are really evil. But it's also revealing how weak and corrupted the country is. And it's just, it's like, this is interesting. We know where we are. We're learning where we are and how easily that the economy can be just shut down over a scare tactic. Because it's I believe the virus can do damage to some people, right? And it has, supposedly, right? But it's definitely overblown, and it's definitely being exploited by people who don't have any love for society or humanity or people. They don't have love. They're phony people. And so it's nice to see that. It's just kind of nice to see reality revealing itself. It's cool. Evil revealing
Yeah,
itself.
I just want to encourage anybody listening that, you know, if your kid's in public school, I would really try to figure out a way to get them out of there because,
Yeah.
like I said, she used to get out of school and she just wouldn't be smiling or anything. It would just be kind of a blah attitude. But,
Yeah.
man, she comes home now and she's all happy to see me and it's just putting a light in her, you know,
That's cool.
that, you know, especially here in Illinois, they teach LGBTQ studies and things
Right.
like that. And so I don't even have to worry about that anymore. Now she's learning about the Bible.
Right.
So
It's such a pretense, too, this LGBTQIA madness. I was talking with a dumb guy that I went to high school with, and he was talking about, it's just teaching kids that there are some kids who are different, and that's okay. That's not true. First of all, you don't need to teach kids that. If you're a decent person, you'll raise children who treat other people decently, even when they're immoral people. So it's such lies these people push, all in the name of so-called tolerance and diversity and mess. I appreciate it, Chris.
Absolutely. Oh, you're welcome, and thanks for taking my call.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Oh, man. I'm going to get to Maze and paramedic. My favorite caller, Maze. Paramedic in Florida. Hang tight, guys. Real fast, I want to tell you guys about this teen who was arrested after killing 2 people. Dang, imagine being 17 years old and you killed 2 people. And you're white. A white. This is from AP. I told you guys about this in Hake News. The white 17-year-old police admirer was arrested Wednesday after 2 people were shot and killed. And, you know, they don't have much info on the 2 people who were shot and killed. One was 26 from Silver Lake, Wisconsin. The other was 36 from Kenosha. He shot and wounded another person, I guess, 36-year-old from West Allis, who's expected to survive, all in Wisconsin. But this boy, young man, seemed like he was properly trained. Seems like, I don't know, he acted responsibly. The people who are irresponsible are the people rioting and the people protesting. Those are irresponsible people too. You know, over here in LA, did you know that there were riots here in LA just last night? I call them riots, but it was lightweight compared to what's been going on in Kenosha right now. But it was Black Lives Matter agitators in the streets. Cops kind of kettled them, trapped them in a tunnel, made them drop their shields made of boogie boards and cardboard and whatever else, referring to those shields as weapons, and then supposedly fired upon them and started to make arrests. And, you know, that's one side of the story. We're getting this from liberals on Twitter, right? Socialist, communist people. Some of them were like this UCLA guy who supports the socialism. He has a red rose flower emoji in his Twitter username, which indicates that he's a communist socialist guy. Doesn't the red rose indicate socialism or communism or Antifa or something, right? And then also he had a rainbow emoji indicating LGBTQIA madness, pride in degeneracy, right? So there was madness going on all around the country, but in ordinary times you might have heard about the Los Angeles situation, but because there's such crazier situations all over the country, you're hearing about other stuff. But this guy, he looked like he got attacked. According to even witnesses, people jumped on him. And one guy tweeted that one guy had a skateboard, hitting him with a skateboard. Reminds me of the situation over in not Santa Fe, but New Mexico, where a guy tried to attack a militia member with a skateboard, and he got shot, or somebody got shot. Well, and then another guy had a handgun, attacked this guy, 17-year-old, over in Kenosha, Wisconsin, 15 miles from where he lived, which was in Illinois. He crossed state lines, but it was 15 miles away. That's like driving from here to East LA, maybe. I don't know. 17 miles or 15 miles, whatever. So this guy shot a guy, according to this tweet from this guy named Jack Murphy. I got this from Revolver. All available evidence so far points to a clear-cut case of self-defense. Skateboard guy attacks and gets shot. Guy approaching with handgun gets shot. Handgun out, by the way. Elijah Schaefer, who's also known as Slightly Offensive, interviewed this guy. And Elijah, he's a nice guy. He said, I spoke with the alleged shooter earlier in the night who said that he was there to protect property. He did not make racist comments, condemn Black Lives Matter, or mention political motivations for his actions. There's a Getty image of him alongside other, apparently they're volunteers. I don't know if they're paid or volunteers, but they're cleaning up graffiti off of the, I guess, Kenosha, Wisconsin courthouse. And it's disgusting. I presume it to be Black Lives Matter type graffiti. I think I see something 12, F12 in the corner, which is a reference to F the police, bleep the police. Isn't that nice? This 17-year-old helping out. And what is this, late August right now? Where I'm from, school doesn't start until mid-September. More context. Elijah tweeted out more context on the Kenosha riot shooter by reporter Richie McGinnis. I guess that guy might be from the Daily Caller. Still no signs of malicious intentions or racist motivations, though he did understand the potential threat. And back in the olden days, 17-year-old young men were mature. This guy looks like he was handling himself right. I don't know. Guess more will be seen, but Jesse Lee Peterson tweeted, Kyle, what's this guy's name again? Rittenhouse did nothing wrong. And now there's this big push to fire Tucker Carlson because he said, how shocked are we that 17-year-olds with rifles decided they had to maintain order when no one else would? And that's a fair question. That's why I said in my Hake News segment at the end of hour 2, I think it was, that it's the governor's fault because the governor gave credence to the Black Lives Matter rioters and so-called protesters, really agitators, who are crying racism when there's no evidence of it. So sick. Anyways, oh man. I'm going to take a quick break, and then right after that, I'm going to get to my favorite caller, Mace, paramedic, and then the rest of you guys, okay? And I have a little bit of information and update on CHOP/CHAZ, which is now defunct, right? That's where Antifa and Black Lives Matter took over parts of, Seattle or somewhere? And they've tried to take over parts of D.C. and all that stuff. Well, there were some shootings. One guy, multiple people, I think, got killed. Still no arrests for those shootings, reports Jack Posobiec. Interesting. Jack Posobiec being a independent guy on Twitter, also on One America News Network, I believe, a host on there. Anyways, I'll be right back, guys. Hang tight. Enjoy this beautiful music, courtesy of Joel Friday here. Hang tight, guys. That's what I always want to hear at the end of that song when it's like all crunchy guitars. I want to hear like I don't know whose song that is. It ends like and it goes yeah. I think it's maybe Metallica or something. Some devilish music like that, right? Anyways, GACJR53 said, Joe sounds like a white Antifa beta male. I didn't say it, Joe. I didn't say it. But you know, honestly, your rationalization for taking off Jesse Lee Peterson, an accusation of Jesse Lee Peterson hateful? Please. We'll talk later, I'm sure, Joe. Hydro PX gave a diamond and said, it's not the school, referring to the caller at the end of the hour, the previous hour, who's in Illinois, Craig, I believe. His daughter now sees a father. That's a nice point. Maybe so, Hydro PX. Appreciate the support, guys. Let me quickly, before I get on to a little bit of information about CHAZ and CHOP and some other things. By the way, I finished reading Killing the SS. Killing the SS by Bill O'Reilly. He wrote a bunch of books called Killing Such and Such, Killing Jesus, Killing Lincoln, Killing whoever. Killing the Rising Sun, which is the reference to the crazy Japanese situation when they were acting erratic, right? Anyways, let me quickly get to Maze in Dayton, Ohio. Maze, how are you doing?
Hello, James.
Hey.
How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm marvelous every day.
Nice. I heard you get in with the Jesse Lee Peterson show. Congratulations.
Yes, I just had a question. I like the answers. I don't like them to be like that. You know the guy that you was talking to, where he's from Ohio, some part?
Art?
Whatever his name is.
Yep.
Now, he going to go, he got a foul mouth for one thing. He's supposed to be talking to Christians.
A foul mouth?
Yes,
I mean,
a foul mouth.
I think he's
Let me clean it
millennial.
up.
I believe he's millennial.
That's why
Not
you
to
don't have good
excuse
taste.
him, but that's how we were raised.
Oh, that's an excuse.
Well, I say we. I didn't really cuss.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, all my friends, a lot of my friends were cussing, especially by 7th, 8th grade. That's when the bad kids came over from,
Really?
I forget what the name of the school was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, if you say so. But anyway, what is law and order? I keep hearing this from y'all.
Law and order.
Yes, what is it supposed to mean?
It means we don't want or allow riots and looting and violent attacks on whites and men and stuff like that. Law and order.
Oh, I was wondering. Nobody never explained. Now you hear something. This is the law and order president. So
Yeah.
if he's pardoning crooks and all that stuff, that not going to play a part in the law and order?
You know, that's a fair criticism. I'm not necessarily for him pardoning crooks either.
I just wanted to know. I mean,
Yeah, you're right. That is a bit soft.
Yes. And it was like the question that I asked Jesse, you going to the protest with him?
But do you know who pardoned way more? I believe.
I don't care.
Didn't Obama
Trump,
pardon way more? I don't know.
No, Roy Moore. No, he didn't.
No, I'm saying way more, not Roy Moore.
I said you said Roy Moore.
Roy Moore didn't do anything wrong. There's nothing to pardon.
If you don't do anything wrong by breaking the law, you wouldn't have no reason to be getting pardoned, would you?
Right. That's why Roy Moore didn't need to get pardoned.
So you're really. Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's right.
So if you're going around pardoning people, but you're supposed to be the person of law and order, and you always talk about your amendment.
But that's not exactly fair because he's not just going around pardoning people. He pardoned John Ponder, who is a black guy, I think, who...
I'm not going through the people he pardoned.
I know, but you said he's going around pardoning people. He pardoned a few. He let some people out of jail, but you're taking it too far.
No, I asked you the question, is that going to be part of the law and order?
Yeah, as long as those people maintain law and order, help maintain law and order.
Really?
Yeah.
I just wanted to explain because that's what y'all just having a chizzy about and having a good time. And then the guy that was
So are you pretending that these riots and looting and destruction and murders that are going out of control around the country, are you pretending that's not an issue?
No, I didn't say it wasn't an issue. What about the agitators?
Because that's what he.
The situation.
Because that's what he's referring to. That's what he wants to
put it
deal
like
with.
This. I'm gonna ask you another question.
All right.
got all the answers. Y'all think y'all have all the answers. So say like you're having a protest, an agitator come in and do something that you are not doing, and you looking around like, we didn't do that, but you're putting on the people that didn't do it and not looking at the people that's causing the problem.
Thank you for defending the alt-right at the Charlottesville
I'm not
riots.
second. I'm saying that cop that was going around.
No. You brought up one person did one thing wrong, and the whole alt-right are called murderers. They're called violent rioters because they were peacefully there. They get attacked by Black Lives Matter and Antifa. One guy goes crazy and drives into a crowd, whether it was
I'm not even talking about that. So you all
and they get criticized for it. We weren't part of that.
No, James. That's not what I said. You had a cop busting up windows when they were protesting in one place. Then you had
That's not proven. That's not proven, Mace.
It is proven.
No, it's not.
They showed him. You had an umbrella.
Nope.
You didn't see that.
Not proven.
It is.
It's not proven.
If you say so.
No, I do say so. You're just saying something that was spread as a rumor.
But you didn't give me an answer.
That you're just no. Hold on, Mace. You're just repeating something that was spread as a rumor,
I'm asking you a question,
and it was not proven.
I said, if you were having a protest and somebody came in and caused the problem when your protesters didn't have anything to do, do you look at the people that's causing the problem, or you look?
They had something to do with it, Mace.
Really?
Yes.
And so then again,
the protesters. Do you agree with me, Mace, that the protesters have nothing to protest?
No, I don't.
What do they have to protest?
Agree with you. What do they have to protest?
Yeah.
If you don't know, I don't have to tell you.
Because you don't know either. Because they're lying. They're pretending that cops are unjustly killing black people, and it's racism. It's not true.
In your mind, it's not true.
In reality, it's not true.
They don't harass people either.
They don't know anything about the situation, but they're protesting and rioting. Mace.
If you took an oath to protect and serve.
No, they didn't take an oath to protect and serve.
Like I told you
they're called Mace. Hold on. Well, let me debunk this dumb idea of protect and serve. Protect and serve is just a nice thing they paint on the side of their car. They are law enforcement. Law enforcement.
Enforcing what?
Enforcing the laws. When you break the laws, as these blacks are doing when they're getting themselves killed, then you are law enforcement. So don't give me this protect and serve stuff like you're supposed to serve the criminals while they're committing crimes.
Now you're still singing with me. So I mean, if you have some cops on or videotaping themselves discussing what to do to the black community, and what are you supposed to do with those kind of cops?
Nothing. It's the freedom of speech.
You're supposed to allow them the freedom of speech, yeah. But you're supposed to be protecting and serving, and you got them saying stuff like that. Really?
What type of stuff did they say? What type of stuff did they say, Mace?
What?
What type of stuff did those cops say on a hidden camera?
A black person when they arrest them, and that's what you see. But you don't see black cops being caught on videotape saying stuff like that.
Because they're not scrutinizing the black cops, Maze.
Oh, really? They're not.
Yes, of course, Maze. So are you really going to pretend, Maze? You really going to pretend that blacks are not just every bit, if not more, as free-tongued as whites?
I asked you yesterday. Tell me what.
Hold on, Maze. Answer my question.
White communities and shooting white people.
Hold on, Maze. Hold on, Maze. Hold on, Maze.
What?
Who speaks more freely and maliciously, blacks or whites?
Freely and malicious. Now I'm saying who commits more crime against people that's not doing anything.
Blacks
or white.
Blacks.
When they're supposed to be under the law, they're supposed to be the law, but you committing crime.
Blacks.
And then lie about it after the fact. But that's not why I called you.
You didn't answer the question. You're such a snake, Mace.
Yes, I did.
Yes, you are. You're a snake.
Well, I wanted to ask you about snakes, too.
Yeah.
Like the one out of, what's his name? Or did you always call snake in the grass?
I got to go.
No. You talked about snakes, and I want to talk about the guy that the 0.5% that was talking to you earlier this morning about Nancy Pelosi.
Joe from Phoenix?
No, the one that was talking about Nancy Pelosi, the broom and the stick and all this
crazy Art,
stuff.
yeah.
I'm going to tell you what they do. Because I'm black and you're not. They get on the air and talk to you all to say the stuff to make you happy. Say things
you don't know, just because you're black, Maze, hold on.
No.
This is her pretending that she knows what's going on in Art's mind.
No.
What a sleazy woman. Maze.
I'm telling you how Art is working.
No, you don't know how Art is working. You do not know.
About what Art was saying?
Nope. You do not know what Art is doing.
I asked you a question. Were you happy about what he was saying?
I was okay with it.
Your Art would be on here talking to you one minute, and then he's going to go with his other group and then say, well, I was on that show saying this and this and this and that. Art, he missed the classroom just like a lot of them that look like you did.
What a sleazy, nasty woman, Maze. That's really neat. That's really evil of you to just make stuff up.
0.5%.
Maze.
0.5%.
You're making stuff up about Art that you don't even know to be true.
And Bible go-to guy? Don't
He's
know
smart.
nothing about the Bible because all of the violent stuff that's in the Bible.
I got to go, Maze.
I'm saying
You have a good day.
It's in the Bible. Okay, you're going to have a good one, too.
All right. Thank you. Sorry, guys. I sometimes get caught up talking with her. Asmodor gave a diamond and said, if you finish the book, time to come on TKR, the Crypto Report. With a crypto with a K. Yeah. I'm going to have to come on the Crypto Report with Asmodor because I've been wanting to finish the Killing the SS book. The problem was that I forgot what happened earlier in the book, but I did take a few pictures of it so I can just kind of go over it again. Because I interrupted it to read more of Dylon's book because, you know, Dylon had given me his book and I didn't really start to read it. I read Bill O'Reilly's book on Trump and then I started reading Bill O'Reilly's book on Killing the SS. And then he's like, what about my book? So I started reading it. It's a funny book, too, by the way. But right now, I put that aside so I could finish Killing the SS. Pretty interesting. It sounded like there's a lot of evil people on both sides. On many sides. I didn't see, I don't know. It's hard to tell if anybody's decent, you know? Anyways, appreciate that, Asmodor. Paramedic in Florida. I got to get to him before I continue. Paramedic, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, James. How are you?
Doing fine as well. Thank you.
Yeah, there's a lot of confrontation on the phone lines today.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's kind of heated, but I think it can dovetail into the topic with Joe and Art earlier. I believe they were going back and forth about someone being a communist.
Right.
Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah, Art was accusing Joe of siding with the communists by being for Jesse Lee Peterson and the Hake Report being censored by the major communist social media platforms. I call them communists because they're pro-LGBTQIA degeneracy, pro-abortion, pro-Black Lives Matter, which is a total lie, and anti-Christian, anti-white, anti-American. So, yeah.
Absolutely, they are communists, and what they're worried about is people like us and Art joining forces against them. But my topic being is, you know, falling into the conservative claptrap of communism. Do you know who Leon Trotsky was?
I've heard the name before. I heard that he was maybe one of the guys who helped popularize the term racism and use it to basically smear and undermine and subvert countries and societies with it by exploiting the natural fissures in society, like America.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, we have an opioid drug crisis. I'm sure you all are well aware.
Yeah.
You know, being in L.A. Well, his granddaughter is part of the board of the people that are supposed to be overseeing that in our country.
Are you serious?
So,
Leon, are you saying Leon Trotsky's grandmother?
Trotsky's granddaughter is in charge of the opiate crisis in the United States of America.
What's her name, if you don't mind my asking? Do you know?
I don't know. There was a whole slew of them. You know,
Where'd you get this?
Just look it up.
Okay.
Look up on Wikipedia. It's them. It's always them. But it's pretty unbelievable. When I found that out, my jaw dropped. You can go on Wikipedia and look it up.
You know, it's interesting when the children of Satan are in the same family, because usually it's like they come from all over, right?
Well,
but
they
that's
all
interesting.
have the same last names.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope things get better, man. But I'm actually working. You know, everybody say a prayer for the people that just got hit by that hurricane.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
Are you working on that situation?
No, I'm outside.
Okay.
I'm in Florida running my business. But,
okay.
My sister's out there. She's all right. Everyone I know is okay out there. So.
It isn't over yet, though, is it? The storm is still working its way through America, right?
Yeah, it's
that
still
part.
hurting people. Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, I saw that it was supposed to go up into Texas and Louisiana. It sounds like it really put Louisiana underwater and tore a bunch of houses apart.
Yeah.
And I saw the path that people were predicting that it was going to go. That it was going to go up, and I'm pointing in the wrong direction for you guys on the screen here. It was supposed to, if this is Louisiana and Florida, it goes up and then it goes up and east. So it goes up and north and then it goes east out, basically across the south, and yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
All right, man.
I wish you guys well.
You have a good show. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I hope your show's not as confrontational for the rest of the time. You can take a break, and I can imagine it's got to be kind of hard on you, man.
No worries. I thought it was quite interesting between Art and Joe, at least for a couple of minutes there. Thank you, paramedic. Take care, man.
Yeah, brother. Bye.
All right. Let me quickly get to Joshua, first-time caller in Westchester, PA, Pennsylvania. Joshua, it's good to hear from you. Thanks for calling. What's up?
Yeah. Hey, how you doing?
Doing well.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention about, the guy who was defending himself that you were talking about a few minutes ago before the break.
Yeah.
I watched on, hope it's okay if I mention this, on Steven Crowder yesterday.
Okay.
He showed a independent video of it, and of course, no press. And before he fired on anyone, he already had been hit in the back of the head, and the two gentlemen who were coming to, maybe alleviate him of his consciousness, attempted to jump on his head with their feet. He didn't fire until the guy got within a couple feet. And, even the FBI says that, within 7-8 yards, someone running with a knife or whatever can get you, even if you have a weapon. So
right.
He used restraint, and he didn't fire on the other two guys until they kept on hitting him repeatedly. Then he was well within his right.
I heard that he fired even warning shots, and he only fired at people who were attacking him and was quite disciplined. And afterwards,
that's right.
he was like ready to just be peaceful. He didn't try to run away or get away with a crime and run and hide or anything. He was orderly.
That's right.
The whole time.
Yeah, he stood up, and when he stopped firing, you can hear in the video pretty audibly that there's other firing that sounds, maybe it's down the street that could perhaps shooting at him, but he doesn't run off. He doesn't make a run for it.
Yeah.
He's not, one of the guys is not even dead. He's still wounded.
Right.
And I'm not a doctor, but you can live through stuff. And anyway.
True.
Go ahead, sorry.
I heard, I read on the far left, I think AP was covering it, and they didn't have details on the people who actually got shot and killed. But I saw on another one of these outlets, like I went on Vincent James's Telegram, and I don't know if this is true, but somebody allegedly found information on two of the guys that were indeed killed. And yeah, so I don't really want to share it at this time, but they don't. I mean, the type of people who are out at these Black Lives Matter so-called protests, some of them are nice, well-meaning people that just don't know any better. They're just useful idiots. And then some of them are just nasty, evil people. I think that to be a useful idiot, you have to have some type of nastiness, though. It's kind of like the anger blinds you. And, I mean, a lot of us on our side are angry, but we don't fall to that lie, but we fall to other lies. Yeah. But these people are they don't have a reason to be out there. It's ridiculous. We should be, and it's a threat to the country, honestly.
Yeah, I think the hate kind of is swelling people up who, like you said, they just don't know any better.
Yeah.
I just wanted to share that. I didn't want to take up too
Appreciate
much
it, Joshua.
I really like the show. Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Have a good day.
You too.
Yeah, I'll continue watching.
All right. Take care. Man. We need to bring back shamelessness with telling the truth. That's why I like people like Jesse Lee Peterson and Donald Trump and they're not going to be intimidated by the intellectuals who call them idiots and stuff like that. They'll just stick with what they know is right and just say it. And not have any appeal to pride or ego battle, get sucked into any dumb ego battles. It's so nice. But it's wild. The NBA is suspending. I heard this is according to Drudge. The NBA is postponing all games over this Jacob Blake shooting, even though they know he was armed, and it was actually there were hints that he may well have been armed, even at the very beginning. But people were falsely calling him unarmed. But they want to act like, oh, this is such racism. Remember CHAZ/CHOP? I told you guys this towards the end of the hour. Jack Posobiec of One American News Network, and he's been big on Twitter for some time. He tweeted, still no arrests from the 5, I didn't know there were 5, CHAZ shootings. CHAZ, which is Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, right? CHAZ. And that's a reference to over in... what is that? Seattle, Washington. Antifa took over a part of town and banished the cops. And the cops complied. And they even, kicked them out of their own precinct, part of their own precinct. Reminds me of what happened in Minneapolis. They got kicked out and they burned the precinct, the police precinct. So Jack Posobiec also shared an article from Daily Caller, headlined, I Gotta Bury My Son Tomorrow. The father of a teenager slain at Seattle's CHAZ, Seattle's Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, spoke in a lengthy and emotional interview with Fox News host Sean Hannity. A 30-minute interview, by the way, roughly. And there's another guy who's like an activist, I guess a peace activist or something, hugging him or has his arm over this father. But this father's really breaking up. Real emotional, right? But a 19-year-old young man was killed. Horace Lorenzo Anderson Jr. died the morning of June 21st during a shooting on the outskirts of CHAZ, which was later named CHOP, Capitol Hill Organized Protest. The young man's death is not the only one that occurred inside the now defunct No Cop Zone. No cops. And they put the knee on the neck of I don't know if it was the knee on the neck, but they pinned down a street preacher who went in there. I don't know if it was wise to go in there, this communist location, and, street preach, but whatever. Hang tight, callers. We will get to you. We will get to you. But this community activist and not this time founder Andre Taylor was hugging the father, I guess on air with Sean in the interview with Sean Hannity. I guess this was last night. Anderson repeated that no one, including police and Seattle Mayor Jenny Durkin, a liberal female, has told anything about his son's death. So the cops don't know anything, I guess because they were banished. I don't know what kind of man his son was. What a mess. Nick, get the phones. Is Nick out there? Anderson said he was told by 2 of his son's friends who happened to be in the area about the murder. He told Hannity that he will be burying his son on Thursday. Alleged murder, right? Alleged murder. We don't know what the circumstances were of his death, but that he is still numb. And he said that he supports the Black Lives Matter movement. Big mistake, father, referring to this guy. His current movement is to let people know that his son died. It was a roughly 30-minute interview. 30 minutes. I don't know. I think that that's kind of emotional stuff. I would advise people to stay away from these commies. I think. I mean, I respect people who go in and fight back, but they really get themselves in trouble. And it's even when they don't do anything wrong. Look at the Proud Boys are smeared by the SPLC and the mainstream media. And who knows, probably the ADL. I haven't really looked. And then look at this Kyle Rittenhouse. But it does serve a purpose when they do get themselves in trouble by basically conducting themselves well. It shows you where we stand. That it does. Wild. So there's all kinds of stuff. Minneapolis, too, is under a state of emergency after fresh unrest. Did you know that? They just can't keep the peace. How did this happen that people have this much energy just to commit evil all the time, everywhere? You know what I mean? Like, how did this happen? It's crazy. We knew that society was getting soft and immoral, and men were getting weak. But did you imagine that there would be endless riots starting from March, still going strong through, was it March or May? Maybe May. March was the COVID thing, right? Okay, May, before summer starts, all the way through, I don't know, we have a few weeks left of summer, right? Summer ends, what, September? Does it end in September? Mid to late September? I don't know. Before fall starts, riots all summer. And it's worse than when Obama was president. I think it's partly a reaction to Trump. They hate Trump so bad because Trump is not giving them any play. So, but yet they still think that they can get power, they can take power. Asador gave a diamond and said, "Stay away from the riots, kids." I think that's good advice. You know, I'm sure this is quite inconvenient, let's say, for Kyle Rittenhouse. Dang. That's gangster. I don't know. He killed a couple people at age 17. But I think that his conscience is clean. Let's hope that he's as solid as a young man as he seemed to present himself, that he can handle this thing right. Because there were other young men who've killed people in self-defense, not this young, but who didn't totally handle things well. What, like George Zimmerman? He blew up, gained all kinds of weight, lost his wife, got with other bunch of women that were just messing, falsely accusing him of stuff. I'm going to get to Andrew and the rest of the callers. Let me finish these super chats. Asmodor gave a diamond and said, "Fighting morons in the street accomplishes nothing." I feel the same way, man. I really do. We have to set an example. Shine, like, okay, if you're going to, like, you're in the street, okay, you get caught up in it. You weren't looking for it. You weren't going there saying, "I know there might be trouble, but I'm not looking for trouble. But if there's trouble, I'm ready." I don't think that that's wise. But let's say you run into trouble, you fight, and you're protecting a business as Kyle was, right? I don't know if he really needed to be doing that, but whatever. Shining a light is what's going to wake some people up. And it doesn't take a lot of waking up of people to show some strength. Remember, there was this, wasn't it a Democrat mayor or governor who said shoot to kill or shoot to maim way back during the riots in Detroit or somewhere? I heard it on Asmodor's show. I feel like I've heard it on the Jesse Lee Peterson show. And they didn't do it. It might have been a Democrat, by the way, who did this. Back when they were a little bit more manly, everybody, including the Democrats even, believe it or not. But you have to handle this with strength and a show of force. So that's what's going to stop the riots. And then if you're a source of light, then you can not have false guilt over showing that strength. The enemy wants you to go confront these people, says Asmodor. It's a setup. Either way, you lose. Yeah. It's kind of like Jesse Lee Peterson urged people if they're running a business and they don't want their business disrupted, but they don't really want to service the gays and the people who are trying to force them to acknowledge same-sex marriage, which isn't real, and all these other crazy things, make you bake a gay cake. It's just a homosexual saying, "Oh, give me some cupcakes." They would serve them, but bake my wedding cake. They didn't want to serve them, right? Happened to a bunch of Christian bakers and florists and Christian farms that wanted to. They're like a place where you can go get married or have an event. We didn't want to service a fake same-sex wedding, right? Well, take the sinner's money and use it for good. Like, pick your battles wisely. Be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Then you can use the money and support what's right, you know? There are times, though, when I'm kind of glad that they fought it out, lost their business, so that we can see where we are in America, where injustice reigns. All in the name of fake justice, social justice, or real justice, according to Sean King. Disgusting guy. Anyways, let me quickly get to Andrew in Ohio. Been on hold for some time. Andrew, thanks for holding. What's up? You wanted to talk about presidential pardons.
Yeah, I think Mays was saying that Obama pardoned less than Trump, which isn't even close.
Well, I don't think that she even brought up Obama. I brought up Obama because he pardoned like way too many people, I think. He was letting people... And actually, he and a bunch of federal judges have been wanting to empty the prisons. They talk about prison overcrowding. Yeah, you're right. He was way more lenient on crime than Trump, by far.
But I'm glad you just brought that up because 97% of federal convictions are plea bargains, and I think 94% of state convictions are plea bargains. So if they didn't do nothing wrong, you would go to trial. You would never plea bargain. So
yeah. That's it. Well, yeah.
And they say the justice system is racist and all this, but you would never plea bargain if you're innocent. You have that Supreme Court case, Gideon versus Wainwright, where you get a free trial. You can get a free lawyer.
Right.
If you never did anything wrong, you would go to trial.
I bet that there are times when you're not guilty that you would get a plea bargain because of, especially nowadays where stuff is so corrupt. Like, they're flooding the media right now with all kinds of false information about Jacob Blake and George Floyd and all these people, right? They try to say, oh, Jacob Blake was unarmed. Oh, George Floyd was murdered by that officer. And then later it comes out, no, George Floyd, I think it came out that he, according to one medical examiner or something, that he had fatal levels of fentanyl.
Which is the worst drug. Those are the two worst drugs you could ever combine in your system.
Yeah. So I would think that it would be hard to get a fair trial rather than take the plea deal. You know what I mean? There may be instances where you take the plea deal and you are innocent. But you make a good point. Like, all of these plea deal things, I didn't know that's a lot. But
Ann Coulter brought that up versus that Young Turks girl and just destroyed her. I remember that.
Because they claim, the mainstream likes to claim that, blacks, they suffer longer sentences for the same crime, right? One of it is because they take the public defender who doesn't really do as well as a private lawyer oftentimes, right? And so the private lawyer can get a better deal, right? They don't have the money. They don't show up to court. They don't wear a suit or whatever. But the other thing is they've committed crimes that are not documented on the conviction because they take the plea deal. They plead down. And so they've committed other crimes. And because of those other crimes, the punishment is a little bit harder on the harder side for that plea deal crime, the plea down to the lesser crime. it looks like a harsher punishment for this little crime, but in reality, they committed greater crimes, and that's why the punishment is harder. And so they're not telling you the whole story when they say, oh, blacks are serving longer sentences for the same crimes as whites. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not. They're not telling you the whole truth, especially with these plea deals things. It's crazy.
And that every Democrat pardons more people than Republicans. Think about Jimmy Carter only served 4 years in office. Reagan served 8. Jimmy Carter pardoned 566 people.
Wow.
And he in 4 years, and Reagan in 8 years pardoned 406 people.
406, you said?
Yeah, Reagan in 8 years, and Carter did
500 something.
4 years.
Wow.
Yeah. And Trump's pardoned only 38 people, and Obama in 8 years pardoned 1,927 people.
Jeez, that's terrible.
But when Trump pardons anyone, it's a big deal.
You know, I was thinking about how Obama was so lenient on the illegal aliens. He fought to keep them. He and Janet Napolitano, they brought in this DACA thing, allowing the illegal aliens who came here at age 16 or before 16 to stay here in America as long as they didn't have misdemeanor, or I don't know what they could have, what they were allowed to get away with. But he was definitely, they pretend that, oh, he deported so many people, right? I heard that he was not going after the criminals, but going after working illegals who were working at businesses. That's just what I heard. I don't know. But these people are so subversive. They're bringing in people that they know are going to have more babies and going to eventually subvert the whole country. I mean, it's already been pretty much subverted from believing in free speech. They believe in hate speech. From believing in the Second Amendment, they believe against the Second Amendment. It's a bad situation. They hate white people. They hate Christians. It's just so immoral now.
Yeah. But with Black Lives Matter, if you go to their website, they want to destroy the nuclear family. But think about this: 23% of black families live below the poverty level. But when you
so-called
look
families,
black married couples, only 8% live in poverty.
I've heard that.
So instead of Black Lives Matter,
those are the real families.
Yeah.
A real family is when they're married together with the kids.
Yeah, you have two people working, you have two incomes, you have a loving mother, you have that love, and then you have that sternness of the father. Yeah.
I mean, ideally, you don't have two incomes. It would be nicer, but they've subverted that
but
too.
In this day and age, I understand.
Yeah, they've promoted working women so much that it's become the norm. So the average couple can afford more, so it's harder on the couple that wants to do it right because the costs are up because of this ill-gotten gain of the women working. What a mess. It's kind of like working like crazy, but not getting enough sleep. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're getting more done, but at what cost? Only this is more of a moral cost. Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, appreciate it.
All right. Take care. Azador says, bake the gay cake and add habaneros. He's kidding, guys. What's up, Ralph Retort? Wow, hosting the Hake Report. Nice. The Ralph Retort. I saw that he got a buzz. He might have gotten it on air. Congratulations. It must have been a positive thing, I hope. That's awesome. Let me quickly get to Lynn in Chicago. Lynn said things are looking bad for Kyle Rittenhouse. What's up, Lynn?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
I was going to tell you the Democrat you mentioned earlier, the one who said shoot to maim and shoot to kill, whatever that was.
Yeah.
That was the Honorable Richard J. Daley.
Richard J. Daley.
His dad, Richard J. I can't remember which one. But he said that back in 1968, following the assassination of Martin Luther King, and the West Side and the South Side went to hell, literally.
That's Chicago, huh?
Yeah, Chicago. He told the Chicago police. Yeah.
He said, I think this is the quote. I just I just Googled it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm supposed to use duckduckgo.com, right? Okay. But Mayor Richard J. Daley gave the police the authority to, quote, shoot to kill any arsonist or anyone with a Molotov cocktail in hand, and to shoot or to maim or cripple anyone looting any stores in our city. And that was during the race riots and protests and looting April 1968, 5th through 7th, after the assassination, right?
Yeah.
What a mess.
Yeah, well, that's what you get when you have Democratic-run cities.
But right on to him. I mean, that is, and I think that's stopped it, right? That's only 3 days of looting.
Yeah, and then President Johnson brought in the active duty military, and they took the expressways into Chicago and quelled all that craziness that was going on.
Yeah, different times back then. Different times.
Yeah.
When men were more like men, they thought like men. You know, you have to meet violent riots with a little bit of violence.
Yeah.
You know, they talk about police brutality. Police are supposed to be kind of brutal, right? With the, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? They're supposed to be able to be brutal.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. The thing is, I have a lot of Chicago police officer buddies, and usually I tell them, I'm like, back in the late 1980s, Yitzhak Shamir, the Israeli prime minister, went to the occupied territories in the West Bank, and he saw all these Arabs throwing rocks and such.
Yeah.
And he told them, guys, take the gloves off and break their legs. And he stood there when they went to go grab some guy, and they were hammering at his legs, and they broke his leg right. Yeah. That's how you get rid of this kind of behavior.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the point of the death penalty is. And I was reading about this, there's this controversy about the New Zealand shooter who shot up, I believe that he killed 51 people at the mosque, or mosques, was it 2 mosques that he went and shot up? He was streaming it on Facebook Live. The New Zealand shooter. I don't think he was from New Zealand. I think he was Australian. I think he was a white guy, but he was eco-fascist, according to some people. I don't know if it was himself. I don't know if he called himself that, but he was basically a radical environmentalist. He felt that the Muslims who were coming into his part of the world were overpopulating the area and causing pollution or, you know, climate change or whatever, and taking away the jobs. Same thing with the El Paso Walmart shooter. He felt that the Hispanics were making all the babies and taking up all the jobs, and he wanted them to go back. And also these guys they believed in the white thing, and so they wanted to increase and accelerate the race war against whites. The attack on the Second Amendment. He expected the Second Amendment to be taken away as a result of his shooting way over in New Zealand, against the mosque. Yeah. I don't know what what a mosque is doing in Christchurch, New Zealand. Talk about betrayal of what's right. You know what I mean? It's Christianity. Christchurch, New Zealand, mosques there, Muslim mosques, and then the prime minister, female woman. My age, I think, living with her partner, male partner, not exactly homosexual, but not married. I think she is pregnant by him. I could be getting confused, but she went over with the Muslim head covering thing, kissing up to the Muslims. Oh, you guys are such victims of this stuff. In reality, like, she's causing problems in society, and this guy overreacted to that, wanted to start a race war. And he now, to this day, that happened did that happen in 2017 or 2018 or 2019? It's been over a year. It's been over a year. He's still alive. And now he's been sentenced to life without parole, which is so funny to me. You kill 51 people and you get sentenced to life in prison. What kind of a soft society is that? I mean, I understand. Dylan Roof, wasn't he they're trying to get the death penalty on him. Did the death penalty, but he's still alive. He shot up the church. But Loretta Lynch is the one who went after him with the death penalty. She shouldn't have any say on the matter. But, the feds try to get themselves involved with anything regarding race. Wrongly so. But to me, it's so weird that society is so soft that they're trying to get rid of the death penalty. So they're softly evil towards whites and towards everybody else. It's so, it's so female-minded. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The thing with the death penalty, it only applies. They're making it to where it only applies to whites. If you go kill
in
a
America,
cop or something like that.
Yeah, that's true. I think they executed a couple of white guys just recently because I guess they're pretending that it's been disproportionately used against blacks or something like that. But they're the ones who were committing. If they were committing the crimes that deserve it, they should get it. And we need swift justice, like what you said with this. I don't know if I'm for breaking legs and stuff like that. I don't know. It seems kind of cruel and unusual. But you have to have a heavy hand and a swift justice so that this happens as a result. Not 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 year later, not even 6 months later. It should happen pretty much right away as long as there's no question that this person did it, then it should be immediate, swift justice.
If you look at it historically, like for example, say you committed a murder in 1979 or 1980. The thing is, you're put to death like 13 or 14, 15 years later.
Wow.
Now it's almost like in order to be put up for the death penalty, you would have to have murdered someone like 20, 25 years ago.
Man, that's so wild.
Yeah.
Even. Man, what happened? It's weakness.
I have no idea. I mean, I think they're. I think the executioners. They put them on furlough.
That's awful.
Like I said, like when Gacy did all of his murders, he was put to death. I think he did it in like 1977. He was put to death in 1993, I believe, 93 or 94. And now, like again, if you look now, like people are being put to death today. They committed murders like in the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
The thing I was going to tell you that the young man who crossed state lines in Wisconsin, that the 17-year-old.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that's probably going to save him right now is the fact that he's 17 years old.
Really?
If he was an adult, they would have their way with him. But I believe since he's 17, once he reaches 18, the way these courts do it, he'll be pretty much released from prison if he's convicted and such. Because
he was but I heard that they're charging him as an adult. Is that not true?
If they are, I don't think.
Even still,
I don't think I think it'll get watered down later on.
Well, man, I think that he should be. I think that they should. I think it should be based on how he conducted himself. Is it true that, in the state of Wisconsin, open carry is fine for people over 18? Is that the case? So is he not supposed to be carrying a gun? I don't know, but
the thing is,
they're encroaching on the Second Amendment in so many ways. The right to carry guns shall not be infringed. And he was disciplined. It looked like he was disciplined.
Dude, he only shot when he was pretty much on the brink of being knocked out or even killed.
Yeah.
You hit someone in the head with a skateboard,
that can do some damage.
Withstanding that, good luck,
Yeah. Anyways, man, I appreciate it, Lynn. Thank you for the input and for the info.
Are you taking?
All right. You as well. Take care. Man, I'm glad Kellyanne Conway is going from the White House. I think that that's the best thing for herself, her family, and maybe even for the White House. I don't know. I don't know if she had any influence, but I just got kind of sick of hearing about how her husband is more female-minded than she is, but she's still a woman too, and their daughter is just evil. totally corrupted against them. And they're no angels themselves. I don't know. I like that she supports Trump, but her husband is just petty, just disgusting. Anyways, I'm going to be opening the treasure chest shortly, guys. Let me just get to at least a couple of more calls. Stefan, I think I'm pronouncing his name right. He can correct me. First-time caller out of South Africa. Stefan, are you there?
Stefan.
Stefan.
Yeah, and second time today. So
okay, you got on air.
The first time caller. Yeah, I spoke to Jesse earlier.
Right on.
But I mean, I was just excited, and I can't believe I got through, and I tried my luck again, and
right on.
You know it, I got through to you, James.
Appreciate it. How are things going over there, Stefan?
I appreciate. No, the opinions are differential, but things are going well, depending on the way that you look at stuff. But I was very curious to hear your opinion about Kellyanne Conway, and I wanted to ask more about that. Why do you think it's better that she departed from the White House, James?
Because she has 4, I believe, children, all under 18, and I don't think a woman should be working like that, all into her career like that, when she has children like that.
With her husband.
What's that?
With her husband. Her husband, George. I think his name is George.
George Conway is just beside himself. Totally, he's half, I believe, Filipino, and he identified with his mother being told to go back when President Trump told those progressive Democrat Congress females to go back and fix where they're coming from.
George definitely lost the plot a long time ago.
Who's that?
George. He was carrying on like a beta.
Completely. Yep.
Since day one.
He has issues, and so I think she should stay home.
Kellyanne is the alpha. He's the beta. He's Mrs. Kellyanne Conway. That's how you call George. Mrs. Kellyanne Conway.
I don't know, man. I don't even consider her alpha. Yeah, I like the fact that she supports Trump, and she defends him pretty well. I love the line. I've never really heard the whole quote, but I love the line alternative facts, because that is what is reality. Alternative facts bring the truth to help bring the truth to light, or help bring the bigger picture to light, because they have their, they being the mainstream, the Democrats, the rhinos, have their cherry-picked, piddly little facts that don't even matter, just to deceive blacks, just to deceive women, just to deceive the country. Whereas there are alternative facts that bring to light the fact that they're deceiving with their little piddly facts. And so I love that line. But I just never liked all these women being propped up and doing work in the government when they should be at home. We need men back. And it's a shame, too, because even the men that President Trump has appointed, they looked like they were so manly, but they turned out to be just simps. Kellyanne made them look like women. I'm referring to John Kelly, Mad Dog Mattis, all of these sleazy turncoats. Anyways.
James, considering the fact that I'm from South Africa and from your perspective, as it stands right now, it seems like I'm a pretty logical guy. I haven't said anything illogical yet.
Right on.
So, is there anything that I mean, you are the person, you're in charge of the interview. So, is there anything that you'd like to ask me or
No, I just wanted to know how things are going in South Africa. I've been thinking of bringing on another guy from South Africa. Like, I talked to Buffalo Bartlett. I forget his real first name, but he goes by Buffalo Bartlett. And he was doing a walk to the White House. I don't know where that stands because COVID hit, and now he's been harassed by dumb Antifa and Black Lives Matter supporters because he wears a MAGA hat. But and I've been thinking about talking with Clip Cop, who's been on. I don't know if he's been on the show. I don't think he has. But there's a lot of South Africans. I've been thinking about you guys because it's really happening here. You know what I mean? It's just.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what I told Jesse earlier when I had the privilege to actually have a conversation with him. After, I mean, I've been watching you guys' show for about 2 years now.
Yeah, right on.
So to actually be able, I mean, I've been following you guys on not only on YouTube but social media as well, and to have the privilege to actually, reach out and touch base. I mean, technology is profound. So
I know.
It's granted me that as a humble fan.
Yeah. I appreciate that,
to be able to,
Stefan.
To share my opinion with you guys and to have you guys entertain it is but enough of praising you guys. To get back to your point, yeah, man, I don't know. In South Africa, the racial tension, in all honesty, it's a lot less than what you guys have in America at the moment. If you take the peaks of your racial tension, at the moment, if you look at Seattle and where was that Chop and CHAZ shit? Where did that? Was that in
Seattle, Washington?
Yeah, all of that stuff. I mean, we've already been through that in our country, and we've more or less worked it out. It's not good yet.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It's still a broken system.
Right.
But you guys
are run by communists, just outright communists. Black Lives Matter runs your government, basically. Seems like.
Yeah, well, I mean, in our government.
Stefan, I'm sorry, man. I gotta run. We're at the end of the show.
Are you running out of time?
Yeah. But take care.
I'll call you back, man. But
that sounds
good.
This
was an amazing chat, man.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, me too. I appreciate you. Take care, man. Real quick, Terrence, 15 seconds. We gotta end, but you want to address Terrence out of San Antonio, Texas? You want to address Maze calling you a liar real fast?
Yeah, she's a angry black woman, so I'm used to it.
All right, appreciate it, Terrence. Good. Have a good one. Take care.
All right, you too, brother.
All right. Take care, guys. I got to end. Dark Side of the Bear What says, if women were so strong, they wouldn't need to be propped up. Very true. Thank you to Asmodor, Silosopher, GACJR53, Doc Ratty, Evgeny Crosby 2020. Thank you, man. Dark Side of the Bear What, Hydro PX, Arizona Lineman, Noah's Ark, Kansas, always supportive, and Super Bubba. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Take care. TheHakeReport.com. George Zimmerman against Trey Wildman.